Today, we're going to be helping the team at Joe and Bella to make $10,000 in 10 minutes time. Pat from Intergrowth here. This is the latest of our e-commerce SEO and AEO audit series, where we take 15 minutes behind the scenes to audit an e-commerce business and then put together a walkthrough video like this where we walk through the biggest opportunities for them to better optimize their site to get way more revenue every month from traditional search engines like Google and large language models like Claude and ChatGPT. So with that, we're going to jump in. I'm going to share my screen and we're going to take a look at how we can help the team at Joe and Bella to make way more money. So the first thing that we're going to look into is how the Joe and Bella team is currently positioning themselves to search engines and large language models. I like to look at the homepage title tag for this, as this is the lever that is most straightforward for us to control and alter the way that search engines and LLMs are going to perceive our entire website. So when we look at the homepage title tag, what we're seeing is that Joe and Bella is describing themselves as just adaptive clothing, followed by their brand name. So when we go to Google and we search for adaptive clothing, what we see is that they currently pop up first on Google. Now, what's interesting about this is, disclaimer, this is the second time we've done this recording. The first time we had some technical issues. So here we are redoing the recording today. The first time that we looked at this, they were ranking third on Google, behind some of these other brands that are popping up in the mix right in here. Today, they're ranking first. So we're seeing some volatility in search engine results pages for this adaptive clothing related keyword, and that's totally normal. Now, when we look at some of these big competitors, though, we see someone like Silverts and Magna Ready, they're branding themselves in a more distinct manner. They're talking about being adaptive clothing for seniors, elderly, and disabled. For the Joe and Bella team, I would love to see them elaborate on this positioning. It's going to help them rank for a lot of long tail keywords, and it's also going to help them to rank better in the long term. So one opportunity that really sticks out to me, we had the Joe and Bella team on the podcast a couple of weeks ago. They put so much care into the quality of content they're putting out, the medical expertise within their team. I'd love to see this homepage title tag reflect something about the medical expertise that they have across their entire team, or at the very least, to take an approach very similar to what some of these competitors have done to elaborate that they provide adaptive clothing for groups A, B, and C as a hypothetical. With that, though, we're going to jump into the biggest money-making opportunity for the business, which is looking at the collections pages, product listing pages, PLPs, whatever term you want to work with. So we're looking at one sample collections page right here. This is their main men's magnetic button-down page. Now, this is a well-designed page. It has some great content on it. It has some good CTAs in the mix, bunch of different product pages. It has a good faceted navigation here. So if I land on this page, I can easily filter down and get more qualified products. The opportunities that stand out to me, big thing that jumps out right away is the way that they have this section of the page structured. So we can see right up here what appears for a human user to be like the top of the page, the main title of the page, say hello to a smarter shirt. If we look into the code base in here, what we're actually going to see is that this line of text is actually just regular paragraph text on the page. So what this tells search engines is, in essence, the page title, the H1, is missing from the page, which is a huge, huge opportunity for the Joe and Bella team to optimize for. What I would love to see them do is update the template for this PLP and all the other PLPs on their Shopify site to include something way more keyword rich that either replaces this text or goes above this text. A great hypothetical example might be taking like something very close to this exact description right in here. So it could be men's magnetic button-down shirts. That would be an exceptional H1 to have on the page to maximize search engine rankings. And it's also going to help do the exact same thing for LLM visibility. Now, the pushback that we get very consistently when we make that recommendation is, well, Pat, we really like that branding. We really like this being the first message that the customer sees on the page. We don't want to go with something very keyword centric because we feel like it's going to hurt conversions. I hear you. And there is a really great workaround. So I want to call your attention to one of our service pages that we have on the Intergrowth website. When we look here, we can see that big human visual title of the page is your personal SEO/AEO executive. However, if we look into the code base, what we're actually going to see is this is coded as the H1 on the page, SEO plus AEO consulting services. The reason being is we've added custom styling to our H1 in this page template so that this specific text is perceived by search engines and other bots as an H1. For users, it appears as much smaller text though. So this is something you can build into the Shopify backend as well within these page templates. I'd recommend taking the exact same approach. With that, you could still keep this exact copy here. You could have smaller text above this, maybe that's like size 16 font that says men's magnetic button down shirts and is coded as an H1. It's going to help the page shrink significantly higher. It's not going to interfere with the user experience, and everyone wins. Other thing that jumps out to me, and this is more so just conversion centric, is the Joe and Bella team has so many promising reviews on their website. When I look at this overarching collections page, though, I don't see any of those reviews present. So I would love to see, let's even look at one example right in here. So we can see, 17 reviews, average rating of 4.9 stars. I would love to see this star rating populating under each of these individual product items that we have on their PLP template. It's going to boost the conversion significantly. So the next thing that we're going to jump into, we have a lot of stuff today, so I think we'll probably go over 10 minutes. But next thing that jumped out to me is broken backlinks. So for context, when websites have been around for a while, one of the natural occurrences that comes into play is page URLs are changed, or products are removed eventually. And in cases where other websites are linking to those old URLs, if we're not redirecting that user to an appropriate page on our new website, we end up with all these broken backlinks. Cases where other websites are linking to a page on our site that no longer exists. Now, links are ultimately the currency of the internet. Links are one of the biggest things that helps us to rank in search engines. It helps us to get cited by LLMs. So for us to lose the value of these links can be really detrimental to the business. If we look in here, we get an overview of the broken backlinks pointing to the Joe and Bella website. And we can see, there are a couple different pages that pop up. One of the things in particular that's really big is this adaptive bra page. It has a couple of different links pointing back to it. We can see this page right here, elderlifefinancial.com, gets about 200,000 people coming to this website every month just from search engines like Google. So for us to redirect this URL right here to another working page that's closely related, likely that's going to be like a women's clothing item, that's going to work wonders for getting our site to rank higher. Jimmy, the other opportunity that really jumps out when we were looking into some of your competitors as part of this analysis, adaptive bras are one of the biggest traffic drivers for a lot of your big competitors. So if there is an opportunity to revive that product down the road, I would really recommend doing so. There is a ton of search demand for it. That could be a huge, huge revenue driver for the business based on the search interest that we see on a monthly basis there. With that, let's jump into the next item in here. So discount codes are a big one. So when we look at the Joe and Bella website, this is one of my favorite tactics for e-com brands as a whole. Super common that we'll work with brands who do some sort of affiliate marketing, influencer marketing type setup where people who partner with them, businesses who partner with them get these affiliate links. They can promote their products. They get a 5, 10, 20% kickback on all sales they generate. Really great way to get sales. The downside to that is you will inevitably run into a lot of scenarios where people are going to leverage search in particular or LLMs to get a lot of traffic from people who are already searching for your brand name to point to their affiliate links instead and end up really just siphoning off a portion of your profits rather than driving new sales. So if we look, for example, at Joe and Bella discount codes, what we're going to see is a whole bunch of these different like coupon-esque sites. So we can see we have one right in here, 75% off Joe and Bella coupon codes, June 2026 promo codes, Coupon Chief, a whole bunch of other sites like this. In my experience, a lot of these links don't work, so that creates a really negative user experience for someone who's searching for this, thinking that they're going to get a 75% off discount, and all of a sudden they don't get that. It's a terrible first experience with a brand for someone who's about to buy. Second thing that comes into play is for the coupon codes that do work, these brands are going to end up ultimately getting that same affiliate commission that comes in the mix for ultimately just ranking for your brand name plus discount codes. So, Jimmy, what I would love to see you and the Joe and Bella team do is to roll out a discount code page on your own website that lists out discount codes that are updated on a regular basis, that ultimately lists out discounts that you're totally cool with customers using. So some great examples might be setting up, a 10% off discount, 20% off discount, whatever that number might be for first-time purchases. That can be a really great opportunity to list out products that are currently on sale or products that you're trying to bundle together. So, buy this one outfit, get this second one 50% off. Creating a dedicated page on your site that has all of these, like broadly speaking, discount codes or discounts off orders is a really powerful way to get your own version of that page to start ranking in search right away, and to make sure that you're cutting down on this commission that you're paying out to affiliate brands that probably aren't actually driving any meaningful sales for you. From there, the next big thing that jumped out, we'll see. Oh, we have two more things. I know we're going to go over on time, but there are two huge opportunities that I don't want to miss. So, first thing that jumps out, when we look at the Joe and Bella website, we can see that there's a link to the Pinterest, Facebook, and Instagram pages associated with the Joe and Bella. The one that is missing from the mix is the Joe and Bella YouTube channel, which has 70 subscribers. It has 60 videos. It's, I would say, a really great educational content source today, and it's an even greater educational opportunity in the future. So there are a bunch of like product fitting-esque videos in here, a whole bunch of great stuff in the mix. So the opportunity that jumps out is, one, LLMs lean really heavily on YouTube in order to influence their citations and determine which brands to recommend. Google search also relies really heavily on YouTube videos and very regularly lists YouTube videos in search engine results pages. I would love to see the Joe and Bella team investing more resources in creating other YouTube content, whether it be about like common customer questions, aging advice that comes into play from their team of experts. I would also love to see like product walkthroughs come into play. We have one quick video right here. I think this one was about 30 seconds long about how you actually put the clothes item on. I would love to see something like this that is maybe rolled out for a series of their top performing products, that's given an optimized title more than Joe and Bella, that has some copy coming in the mix, and that also leverages all of the YouTube video tags that are going to be relevant in here. That's going to get this video for those product related queries to start ranking way higher. It's also going to get you to start getting cited in LLMs far more regularly. The other added benefit that comes into the mix for this is if we roll out that approach. Let's take a look at this. We'll just pull up one sample item. Perfect. Everyday magnetic button down. The other opportunity that comes into the mix is from a design standpoint. If you create that video for some of your top performing products, you can now insert that video, or maybe even set it up as a GIF somewhere on this page, or similarly, like a photo equivalent that would come in the mix up here, so that people can get a sense of what it looks like to put on the clothes item, which for that individual who's using these products is such a big part of the selling proposition, is how easy it is to get these clothes on and off. Now, last thing that we're going to dive into today is going to be on the blog side of things. So when we look at the Joe and Bella site, see, here it is. One of the big things that jumps out in here, if I can find that article that I had written down in here. No, of course not. Let's see how it comes into play. Okay, perfect. So the first thing that jumps out to me with this blog is we have this author, Ben Graham, associated with these articles. There isn't any context into who Ben Graham is, and there also isn't any schema markup in place to tell search engines and LLMs that Ben Graham is the author of this article. From there, we then go in, we see, and I apologize if I mispronounce this individual's name, but Dr. Mary Flett appears to be the author of this article. So one, I'd love to see, and this is likely a guest contribution, but I'd love to see the actual author of the article being given an author setup within the Shopify backend. And then from there, have an author bio that's included within the author's name, whether it's at the top of the article, whether it's listed at the very bottom, and then having a standalone author page that you can go to see who is this individual, why are they qualified to speak to this subject, specifically for the Joe and Bella team. This is a huge opportunity because of the depth of medical expertise that they have on their team. I'd love to see this better reflected. And Jimmy, Great example that you can look towards. I cite this example all the time. Apologies, Georgia. I'm only picking on you because you guys at NerdWallet do a phenomenal job with this. But take a look at the author page that NerdWallet has built out. This is, in my eyes, like the paragon of what a great author page looks like. We can see author like photo right up here, author headshot, name, job title, high level. What are the areas that they're qualified to speak to? We can see how to get in touch with this individual. All sorts of more in-depth credibility statements like this individual has been writing for 12 years. They've written over 20 articles. They've reached over 2.5 million readers. Previous experience. We can see other high-end publications that they've been featured in, breakdown of articles they've written. So for us to build out an author page like this for all of the different medical experts who are contributing to the blog, it increases the value of that content and makes it so much easier for one, a human being, two, any sort of machine, whether it be a search engine, whether it be an LLM, to easily understand the depth of expertise within your team that is writing these articles. So with that, we're going to wrap up from there. I know we're a little bit over on time, but I hope you found these insights helpful. Once again, if you are interested in having us audit your e-commerce business next from an SEO or AEO perspective, email us audits@intergrowth.com. We'll add you to the queue, take it from there. Once again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.